Welcome to the Success Fitness Podcast. I am your host, Christian Evans. This podcast is about helping improve our relationship with nutrition and exercise to achieve success in our fitness journey. And I'm going to help us do just that. But first, I want to go back to sleep, but I can't. I'm going to get more into this story, but first, a word from our sponsors. Did you achieve success in your fitness journey and want to share it with the world? Are you a health or fitness professional that can share your expertise to help those who haven't yet? If yes, then you could be my next guest on the Success Fitness Podcast. Click the link in my bio to sign up, then set up your profile. Once set up, book your slot. I hope to have you on my podcast soon. Alrighty, thank you for your patience and welcome back to the Success Fitness Podcast. I want to read off my blog post that I wrote a few weeks back. It is titled The Young and the Restless, and it's titled that because I woke up in the middle of the night to go use the restroom and I could not go back to sleep. So with that being said, I just pulled out my phone and opened my notes app and just started jotting down my thoughts of where my brain was at that time. So here it is, The Young and the Restless. It's 3:22 a.m. on this Tuesday, July morning. I want to go back to sleep, but I can't. My girlfriend's alarm will go off at 5:15 a.m. so we can begin our workout by 5:40 a.m. Will I have enough energy for that if I don't go back to sleep? I woke up about 30 minutes ago to pee and my mind hasn't shut off since. I normally don't have a problem with going to sleep. It's just going back to sleep after my 2 a.m. restroom pee. Today seems different, but typical at the same time. What's on my heart is the pressures of life. One of the many pressures of life is finances. Where's my money at? My finances aren't where they need to be. They're not where I want them to be. In 2014, I had the idea to launch my blog with my YouTube channel with financial hopes in mind from the information I presented to the world. That looked different from the reality of the situation from what I envisioned. 2 years after that inception, I launched and I have been on a roller coaster ever since. The idea of just putting your content up and sitting back to collect AdSense revenue checks, well, for me, didn't or has not worked that way. It's much more intricate than that. Maybe one day I'll break down those intricacies, but not today. At its inception of content posting of my continuous journey, the idea of personal training had never crossed my mind. It was something that was, for my mentality, new at the moment. That's what I have become today, in that field, a personal trainer. But wouldn't that be hard for you to believe if you didn't know me or I hadn't told you? As I lay in this bed with 2 fans on, the AC on, and the 3rd level of my home, next to me is my sleeping beauty, the woman who I love, but I can't help but think, how can I take care of her better? How can I take care of us? Not solely, but what do I need to do better as my part at securing us financially? This is what's keeping me up this morning. I thank God for the provisions he has made for me and us over the years. The fact that I have made a living from what I could not envision shows his plans are much greater than ours. I could go on and boast in his glory for what he has done for me strictly from a materialistic standpoint, let alone spiritual. But just know this, the Lord is blessed. In the same breath, it feels like I just want more. The urge and desire for more is what drives me. It's what keeps me going. My version of wanting more is always with my family at the helms. 90% of the time, I'm thinking of what I can provide for my nieces and my nephews. My younger brother, who I haven't seen in over 20 years, just had his first child. Therefore, I have to use the word nephew in plural context now. What do I have for him? What do I have for them? I'm big bro to him, and that means a lot. Why am I not in a better position to help them? Why am I not in a better position to have some type of college fund for my nieces? I'm halfway through 40, headed toward 41 this December, and it's like, shouldn't I be well off by now? what have I been doing with my life? It's the middle of July, and every year it slows down in personal training during this time. I prepare myself the best way I can, or at least I think, but it's always that moment when you hit rock bottom and this is it. I won't stay here for long because business always picks up, but with the inflation of the economy, it's still a crapshoot. From online customized workout, ebooks, merchandise, the websites, and an e-cookbook to monetization on socials, these are my passive income contingencies in place to offset the summer slowdown in personal training. As with anything, these comes with their own line of issues. Too much to detail at this moment. Let's just say these things aren't yielding what I expected either. So I ask, what am I doing wrong? Consistently to get these same results. Enough isn't enough, obviously. On top of that, my health needs to improve majorly because I feel I don't have that much time left. Not having that much time left is strictly from the mind of a 40-year-old man who feels this is the halfway point of his life. I don't have youth on my side, which has been a reality check of late. When I see the weight hasn't been coming off as fast as it did 8 years ago, that's the reality check. Looking at the time, it's 4:14 a.m. and it's looking like I'm not going to fall back to sleep. So here I am writing in these notes. There are days where I feel I don't know what to do. I put information out that I feel is helpful to you in your fitness journey, but maybe that's where my problem roots at. It's what I feel versus what you feel is helpful or could be helpful. I'm learning to listen to your wants, your needs, and your desires to succeed in your fitness journey via Marketing Strategy Podcast I listen to improve my approach to you. If that's a run-on sentence, cut me some slack. It's 4:30 a.m. It's looking like I won't be getting back to sleep anytime soon, so I may as well get out this bed to head to my office to chip away at the many projects I have in this queue, like posting this blog post that you are reading. Thank you for your time. So there it is, my post, The Young and the Restless. It was something that I was just feeling at 3:30 in the morning. And I couldn't go back to sleep because my mind is just wondering how I can provide better for myself, my girlfriend, and my family. And getting into this, I would say about 2014, 2015, it's, I did have hopes and aspirations of being financially well off. Maybe I came into the YouTube game a little bit later. Maybe I just didn't understand things. Whatever it was, is that the fact of the matter is, as of today, it's not where I want it to be. And I take sole responsibility of that because there are certain things that I have not done. So I can't just blame everybody else but me, if that makes any sense. I can't blame, these apps are not exposing my content or whatever. The more I listen to marketing strategy, the more I listen to how to tell stories and the things that people are looking for, the more I understand that I did not have that to begin with, right? Everything takes work. Everything takes some type of education to become more knowledgeable about what you are doing and who you are doing it for and what it is that these people that you are doing it for, what they are looking from you. What are they looking from you? And can you expose that? And can you highlight that? And that has been one of my challenges. And don't get me wrong, I've asked questions, but maybe they don't get the response that I'm looking for, or the volume of responses to actually make a change. Maybe one or two, but you're looking for a massive response. You're looking for a response that actually can prove that I need to change this or I need to adjust this. And that's important. And that's really important because if you only got one or two votes or something, and you change your whole scheme around for one or two people. I don't know how I feel about that. Should you or should you not? Because that one person's voice is just as equally as important as 100 more. So these are things that, I battle with. And, I'm putting content out, whether it's podcast or whether it's a free ebook just to get people to sign up for my newsletter, to, put out helpful information that I deem is helpful. And there are some things that I need to tighten up on. I do understand that, but that is what was keeping me up. It's like, okay, where's my financial compensation for all this content that I'm putting out? All this information is not so much the content, but it's within the content. I believe it's helpful information from, how to cook or prepare certain meal prep items that somebody may not know how to do, to providing people with structured workouts and providing people with a safe and private haven to come work out at my personal home gym. And things have gotten so much better since I started all this in 2015. And that's when I had to take a step back, because we can always complain about what we don't have and what things should be. But where are we voicing those concerns from, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm voicing this concern about what I don't have in my 3-story home. I have my gym in the basement, in the bottom of my home. And, I'm more blessed. I'm more richer than I ever been, just like the Rick Ross song says, I'm richer than I ever been. I am literally richer than I ever been in my life at this point in time in my life. But it's always the urge and the need, the feel, put it like that, the feel to need that I need to do more. And again, as I get older, you start looking towards your end game. Where am I going to be in the next 15 years? Where am I going to be in the next 20 years? Do I want to have kids? How am I going to be able to provide for them? How am I going to be able to provide for my wife? All these things are valid concerns. And these concerns can translate to poor eating habits. And they have, because it's stress. I stress eat. I'm not going to lie about that. I stress eat. And it makes me take out certain things when I am working out. I may give it my all, and I may not, because my mind is so bogged down. I'm like, I don't really have time to work out today. I need, to get to this computer so I can record this podcast, so I can get it out, then, hopefully get some compensation from that. Or I need to edit this video to put it up on Reels to get, my views up, to get monetization from that, so I can make sure I pay this bill at the end of the month. All these type of things however you want to say it, it builds up anxiety. I've never been the one to use that word, but I'm starting to understand it a little bit better. I'm starting to understand mental health concerns, and maybe that is part of going through adulthood and, your mental health. You have to take care of your mind. And at that time, I was just up thinking. I was just up, brain going 1,000 miles an hour. I'm waking up in the dead of sleep and just thinking about, okay, how I'm going to pay this bill, how I'm going to pay that bill, how I'm going to pay the next one. Where's my vacation fund? Where's my savings fund at? And things just aren't what I envisioned years ago, but they're a lot better, but I still have a ways to go. And so when you are heavy on the heart of certain issues, again, this can translate to possibly poor eating habits. And I'm not saying that it will. I'm just telling you what it did for me and what it does for me, because I'm thinking I'm munching. I'm thinking I'm munching. And I'm working out, but not fully working out because my mind is just occupied. And the gym and working out is supposed to be your safe haven, right? It's supposed to be your escape. It's supposed to be your therapy, or my therapy. And don't get me wrong, it has been, and it can be, and it will be. But just when I'm going through those phases, It's just not. Like nothing is just helping until I get my money right, And these are things that I believe a lot of people are going through when it comes to finances and the ability or inability to get what you want out of that from the effort that you put in. So I just wanted to share that with you. I didn't mean to ramble on. I try to keep these podcasts at least under 30 minutes. That way you won't have to worry about hearing my my babble mouth all morning or evening or whenever you choose to listen to this podcast, and I'm trying to learn to open up just a little bit more to you and to, this podcast world, because honestly, these are some of the things that these podcast marketers are telling about how to try to connect with your audience and telling a story and just being vulnerable. And that's just something I'm working on, is just being a little bit, just more open, because I hesitate with that because my honest thoughts are trying to get better at articulating myself. My thoughts on that is the information I provide is for you. If I'm putting out a meal prep book or video tutorial or exercise tutorial, the story that comes along with that, it has to be personal. I guess I question it because it's more about you. And that's the angle that I was coming from. It's like, okay, it's more about that person and what they get out of it versus the personal story that I'm using to attach to it. I feel that's kind of like interjecting myself where I guess I'm not asked to be, but I am open to understanding that can be the wrong way of thinking, right? So maybe it's me. Like my grandma said, maybe it's me. Maybe I just was thinking off. Maybe my thinking was off about, how to approach things. And I will attempt to do a better job at connecting myself and a story to the information that I put out to help you, right? Because I'm understanding the importance in that. I really am. I really believe that in this day and age, you are looking for more authenticity versus being talked at, right? Like do this and do that, because I say so, and understanding the why. That's the tough part about, all this stuff, is trying to understand how to communicate with the public just from this standpoint of, it seems like one-sided because I'm talking into a mic and I'm not getting any feedback, right? And so, again, I'm just going to try to work on that and try to reduce my worries as much as I can, still work hard, still, put out videos and put out podcasts, put out blog content, and hopefully, I'll get it right. Hopefully I'll get it right. And I hope you found inspiration in today's episode. This brings us to the end of another episode of the Success Fitness Podcast. This show is sponsored by my new e-cookbook, What to Meal Prep for Beginners, at successfitnessstore.com. It includes 3 recipes for one high-protein meal under 600 calories, step-by-step written instructions, video tutorials, and a free ebook. A free workout ebook. So get your copy today at successfitnessstore.com. And please share this podcast with your loved one who's looking for inspiration on their fitness journey. So help me reach more people like your loved ones when you donate to my Cash App handle, $Christian J. Evans. Also, please join my Facebook group, Success Fitness Family. The link is in the description box. So thank you for listening to the Success Fitness Podcast. Until the next episode, Success Fitness is the mindset. And remember, success is golden. #more weight. Don't forget to leave a review, wherever you are on iTunes or Spotify. And if you are sharing these same struggles that I am sharing, or what I shared with you in regards to finances and stress eating, then hit me up. You can email me at successfitness.cws@gmail.com if you want a private conversation, or just leave me a comment. Or again, we can talk more about it in my Facebook group, Success Fitness Family. Peace out.